I want to start here with Bassam. You remember Bassam, okay? So I thought that was a particularly powerful class, and I have continued to communicate with Bassam since the class, and talk to other people. There have been quite a number of people who have watched that class online, and people who have been asking about bringing Bassam here to Penn State next semester. And the low-hanging fruit, I suppose, is to try to get someone to go to SPA or UPAC or something like that, and say, like, okay, come tell your story to the Penn State community. Go beyond the story and communicate with us and talk to us about any number of about all of the lessons and the insights that you've gained, and that you really could share with us to help us all be better people, which is what we're all seeking. But I started to think, and I was talking to Lori, and we started to think, you know what? It actually would be much more interesting to find a team of people or people in here who would say, you know what, we want to see Bassam come to Penn State next semester. And even though we wouldn't be in this class, but he would give some public talks, and you'd have opportunities to meet him and so on. And we said it would be much more interesting to go back into Social 119 and say, who in 119 would like to participate, either raising the funds we would need, because I'm estimating it would be probably with airfare and hotels and various things. It would be a visa, all of the work that goes into that. It'd probably be minimum of $3,000. He wouldn't be requesting an honorarium. We could give him an honorarium, but he wouldn't request that. And who in here might be interested in partnering, coming together to say, hey, let's make this happen. And not go to SPA and UPAC and so on, to really make it more of a project that individuals could get involved in and be part of. So, hit the next slide. And those of you, if you weren't here, there's nothing I can say about his story, but you certainly remember, if you were here, you remember the story, his story. It's particularly powerful and poignant. So I am just dropping that into the room to say, hey, if you have an interest, if you want to come together, maybe you yourself want to say, hey, I'll put money toward this. However it works, let's see if we can't somehow come together and do what we need to do to bring him here next semester, okay? And if we can't make it happen, then we get someone to turn to SPA or UPAC or something. But let's maybe try to really do it here first. Does that make sense? Seems powerful, seems cool. Because I thought the insights that we got here would be really, really nice to share with other people in the community. So in any case, I have not, Bassam, can you, hi, how are you? You can hear me? We're good? Hey, so listen, I was just telling my class that I would like to see if we can't bring you here next semester, maybe in late March or early April, to share with us, to speak, to share your story, and just be part of the Penn State community for a week. And I guess I want to know, A, are you interested in that? And B, how would that be for you to come to the United States where you haven't been for many years after all that's happened to you? How would that be for you?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me in your class again. I will be honored to come into your class and speak to your students. I've told you many times before that it's a dream of mine to sit among your students and listen to you and participate in your class. It will be a great experience for me. Since I've left the United States in 1988, I'm sure many things have changed in the country, in the teaching community, and I would love to come over.
So, thank you. Yeah, we'd like to have you. I think it's, you've been speaking to Penn State students for, hang on, let me come over here, for a number of years now, and I just feel like it's time to bring you. So, why don't we will work at our end. Let me work at my end to see how we're going to make that happen, but let's definitely do it. Okay?
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. And by the way, before we break off, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I was on vacation in Istanbul for like 2 weeks. It was the first vacation in a long time, and it was very nice.
It would be cool. It would be good to have you here when we don't have to talk through Skype and deal with audio and video issues
Yeah,
and so
I know.
on. So,
I know.
yeah. And
It's really lovely.
have you feel the energy and feel the love. So, so listen, thank you for just taking a couple minutes. And
Okay.
I will have some conversations with people at my end, and I will be back in touch with you.
Okay, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.
Yep. All right. Take care. Ciao. Amanda, you good? All right. Okay, so cool. So talk to me. You can talk to me after class. And those of you who are interested, and let's see what we can do and how we can move forward. Okay? But today, we're going to continue talking about the dragon. The dragon. The dragon's hungry, and the non-dragons maybe are what do you say, are thirsty, looking at that guy? Maybe the dragons too, I don't know. So because I think there's a lot more to say, and I also want to hear from some of you, more of you. Can you go to the next slide? So as it turns out, as fate would have it, and right now the 9th National Party Congress is happening in China. So 19 times since the reemergence of China in the modern era, the Chinese Communist Party has their meetings about every 5 years, and where everybody comes together in this massive hall, which is just really unbelievable. And I've been in halls like that, and it's really beyond ostentatious. It's just really unbelievably impressive. But they are having their meeting. And the other night, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was listening to the BBC a little bit, and they were playing some audio, translating some of the audio of. Hey, who's Chinese here? Wait, how do you say his name? Xing Xiaoping. How do you say?
Xi Jinping.
Hang on. Yeah. Say it with a full accent.
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping. How would I do?
Xi
Xi
Jinping.
Jinping.
Yeah.
Ah, muy bien. Okay. So he was speaking on the first day, and once again, look, y'all. I want you to understand something. I don't have a dog in the race, so I don't have children, and because I don't have children, I'm much more free to I don't have children. B, my wife and I are really ready to just die. I mean, we're ready to die. We've accepted death, right? No. Hang on. We've accepted death, and we've accepted that our lives could go in any number of directions, and it's all good for us. We're not trying to hang on. We don't try to make money. We don't try to have power. We're really just living and very, very happy. We have a really deep love connection, and we're healthy, and that's all that matters. Okay? That said, I don't have a dog in this race. I'm not worried about my children. I'm not worried about the United States. I'm like, I pay taxes here, and it's all fine, and it's all what it is. But I'm really, just because of the nature of my job and what I do and how I do it, I'm very much a citizen of the world. So I have a U.S. passport. I have a certain allegiance to the country, a certain allegiance. I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm a citizen of the world. And I sit back and I'm just interested in looking at what I see is happening and transpiring, okay? So when I'm right now talking about China in the future and what things could be 10, 20, 50 years down the road, y'all, I'm not invested in that. It's an insight that I have, but I'm not invested in it. I'm not trying to tell Americans, hey, like we suck and like we're going to get taken over, and it's not about that. It's just the insight that I think I have, and I'm trying to be as objective as possible. And so here's what he said at the opening of the Congress. I just want to put some of the words out there that said it was time. Do you understand when I say I don't have a dog in this fight? Like, do you get it, right? I'm not invested. Like, whatever happens, happens. If the U.S. is on top, on the bottom, or whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't have kids. My lineage is not being passed on. I'm not afraid. Just whatever's going to happen is what's going to happen. So here, he said it was time for his nation to transform itself into a mighty force that could lead the world on political, economic, military, and environmental issues. So they're looking at a different place. And nations rise and fall. Nations rise and fall. So that's the nature of things. You understand, like, what happens is when you're on top, your energy goes to ensuring that you can stay on top. This is how things are, right? Whatever is the dominant ideology, the dominant music, the dominant culture, the dominant way of painting, what you do is you sort of surround yourself with opportunities to really stay where you are. Okay? But when you are the outsider, then you can allow yourself to be more creative. So this is why we don't see new genres of music and new genres of art emerging from the majority communities. It's always from the outside. You ever wonder why, like with music in the United States, it all comes from minority communities, either poor white communities or black communities or increasingly Latino communities, and now we're seeing Native American communities and so on, right? It's all because it's the outsiders. Because when you're in the middle, you have to be like everybody else. It's sort of like when you're part of a fraternity or sorority and you dress the same and you look the same and you walk the same, and it's not chance that, like I'm walking down the street. When I pass a group of people at a fraternity or sorority and they all look exactly the same, and I'm just thinking like, this is how it works. So you're in the majority, you just follow the same pattern as everybody else. But when you're on the outside, you have greater opportunities to be innovative because you don't have to constrain yourself with the ways of thinking and ways of being that happen in the majority. So the outsiders can be much more creative. This is the nature of culture. Cultural change always happens from the outside in, not from the inside out. So anyway, then he says the Chinese nation has stood up, grown rich, and become strong. And it now embraces the brilliant prospects of rejuvenation. It, as in this coming, will be an era that sees China moving closer to center stage and making greater contributions to humankind. It's like, of course, man. Of course. This is the nature of it. And if you follow, you see this is exactly what China is doing. At the same time that we have a president and two political parties that are drawing circles around, putting walls around us. The Chinese are busting out. They're in Africa. They're all over Asia. They're in Europe. They're buying up in the United States. They're innovating in new forms of technology and stuff. And our technology companies are suing each other to see who can have the greatest amount of profit, i.e. building the walls. And the Chinese are just going, take the lid off it, man, go. And so like we are like the this world, this system that's trying to like really protect what we have. And they're saying, no, we're not protecting what we have. We want to be where they are, only further ahead. It's utterly fascinating. Without directly mentioning Trump, he noted how China had, quote, taken a driving seat in international cooperation to respond to climate change. We have a president who is saying climate change, we don't know how important it is, and we have no idea how much human activity is involved in it. Meanwhile, the Chinese, they took, I think it was 500 or 5,000, I think it was 500, of their most brilliant scholars who study the environment. They pulled them out of the university. They all got involved in doing this research. It was like a 3-year project. They produced an 800-page report, as objectively speaking as possible, and they concluded, without a doubt, if we don't address climate change, the entire world is just going to spin down the tubes, and especially China. China, cannot continue the way we are continuing unless we deal with climate change, which is why they say no more coal, no more natural gas. We're going with all renewables. Meanwhile, what we have as a system and people in power, we're going with more coal and more natural gas and claiming that climate change doesn't exist. I mean, this is crazy. So he added, only by observing the laws of nature can mankind avoid costly blunders in its exploitation. Any harm this sounds Native American, by the way. Remember DJ and Amen? So listen to this. Any harm we inflict on nature will eventually return to haunt us. This is the reality we have to face. And I'm thinking, man, I got to learn more Chinese. Because if I live long enough, I'm going to have to deal with this, with the new people in control. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but I'm not really wrong. I might be just off by a few years, but that's what's coming. And like a few years ago, I was saying, listen, China they're never going to be able to move forward because the 95% of their waterways are polluted. I mean, this is insane. They have just like gone crazy just with coal. With the pollution in China and the polluted water and polluted air. And what the Chinese did was, and this is what's different, they right there in that room, the fearless party leader just said, no, there's no question here. This is what we're doing. We're going to clean the air, and we're going to clean the waterways, and nobody's going to get in our way, and nobody got in the way. Here, Trump just pulled money out of cleaning Lake Erie. It's like now everybody's suing everybody else and trying to decide if that's a good idea. They don't decide if that's a good idea. We're cleaning our waterways, and we're going to clean them. And that's what's going on, and get out of our way. Nobody even questions it. They're going to clean the waterways. They're going to clean the air. And so it's like, and so I don't say that anymore because Chinese waterways are cleaning up. The air is getting clean. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. So y'all, like, what I'm offering is just, it's worth going to the other side of the world, not literally necessarily, but go to the other side of the world and just look at it from the other perspective. It's utterly fascinating, and there's nothing to be afraid of. Okay, this is just my thing here a little bit, all right? Are we cool? Just, look, you can disagree with anything that I've said. Yeah, whatever. Disagree. I don't care. All right. Okay, can you go to the next slide? Here's something I wanted to talk about. I want to show you. So 2010, this is how many students were studying abroad, Chinese students, 284,000 at American universities. Here we are last year, and this has continued it went now back up a little bit, okay? Dude, this just keeps going. This is why if you're here as like a super senior, you've seen this. Like when you come to State College in August or whatever, it's like little Asia. You know, it's like the Asian invasion. You know, I go through campuses, and one night, Lori and I were driving through campus. This was like a week before classes started. And we saw nothing but Asian students, East Asian students. We were like, oh my God. Like, this is just, and they're not staying here. They're going home. And they're paying for it, right? It's a different world. And you know what's really interesting about Chinese students? Is like, if you're a Chinese student, when you apply at a place like Penn State, you get a manual about Penn State, like 80 or 100 pages, and it gets sent to you. And like you can go in Beijing or Shanghai or some of the other major, Wuhan or some of the major cities, right? But you get this manual. It's written in Mandarin by Chinese, telling you everything you need to know about Penn State. You don't have to read any Penn State materials. You just get the one that's produced in China for you, right? Am I right on that? Okay. So, you didn't get that manual. I have seen it. Okay. So anyway, listen. It's fascinating to see where this is going to go. Okay? Cool? So I just want to open us up to some things, to a conversation, a continued conversation that you can have in your classes. All right, you ready? So we're going to do something here. I want to talk about one thing that we see is we're having these dialogues at World in Conversation, and we've started last year, but we're really taking off now. And we're calling them Western-Eastern Exchange. And what we're doing is we're bringing, now it's just Chinese, but we're also going to start with more Korean students, but students into dialogues, 90-minute dialogues with domestic American students. And to talk about these cultural differences. And the cultural differences are really vast, and they're subtle. And if you notice it, but you don't notice it until you really engage. That very different worldviews. And so I want to see if I can bring this out a little bit in the class. Some very different worldviews, just to kind of awaken us a little bit. So, dude, I think I have my two volunteers, right? Jill, is that you? And Jing, you want to? Okay. So I know nothing about them except I just picked them out right before class. Okay? And we're going to see if we can't make something happen here. But I'm not even going to, I'm just going to, here, we're going to put them in the back first. That turns it on, but you can turn it off for now. Okay, you go in the back. I'll introduce you when we get done. And don't talk to each other. No, don't have a conversation. No, it's going to be really awkward, but that's okay. Do you have your phone? Just play it. Just get on your phone. Show her how Chinese characters work on the phone. All right. That's just one of those great curiosities. How the hell do you write? Okay, so go ahead. So listen, I have no idea what's going to happen here, but I've done this a few times in the past, and it has never failed to be absolutely amazing. But, bro, go one more. So here's the thing. This is not true for everybody, but by and large, in the West, this is what we do. Okay? When you ask Westerners about themselves and who they are and what they do, this is on average, what it looks like, okay? And in East Asian cultures, right, you get this more of a sort of a Taoist approach of underestimating abilities, okay? So I don't know anything about these women. They don't know what this is. Let's see what happens, okay? May work, may not work. You can put it back up there so people can see. Oh, yeah, good. Okay, come on. Did you show her Chinese characters? Okay, don't look at the screen. All right. You can come stand. Just stand right here. Okay, cool? So, are your mics on? So Jing, where so you have to talk right into the mics. Where are you from?
China,
I know, where in China?
Beijing.
Beijing? And how do you pronounce your full name?
Like,
The way
last
your
name
grandmother
first.
pronounces it. Yeah.
夏晶
Whoa. Hang it. Did you get that? Say it again.
夏晶
Where'd you get Jing? You told me Jing.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that at all. Say it again.
夏晶
Okay. Dude, all right. Sad. Can you say that?
Sadzu.
Oh, dude. Dude. Okay. And Jill, where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey.
What's your full name?
Jillian Black.
Black?
Yeah, last name
Jillian Black? All right. So listen, man. So tell me about yourself. What do you do? What do you do? What are your what do you do for fun? What are your hobbies? What do you?
I like to make people laugh.
Yeah? And are you good at it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I go to the beach a lot. I live on the beach. My major's accounting.
Are you in major's accounting?
Yeah.
So it's a serious major. And how are you in accounting?
I'm all right.
I mean, you got to be
I'm
smart.
into it. Yeah.
You have to be smart to be an accountant. I mean, I think, right?
Yeah, it's not like that. I don't think it's that hard.
Yeah? Okay, so what else? What do you do for hobbies?
For hobbies, I hang out with my friends a lot. Like I said, I go to the beach because I live there. I played sports in high school.
Yeah? What'd you play?
I played basketball and soccer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You any good?
Like not great, but still
All
played.
right. All right. Jing. I'll just go with Jing. How about you? What do you do?
I do ceramics and watercolor.
You do ceramics? Yeah? And
And watercolor.
watercolor?
Yeah.
Watercolors? How long, and are you any good?
I'm alright.
How long you been doing it?
All high school.
All
For
in
4
high
years,
school?
yeah.
So like 4 years and now, and what year are you here?
Freshman.
Oh, you're a freshman? And what else? Tell me about, what do you study?
Biology major.
Your biology? Mm-hmm. And
And
are you smart?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Did you take the SATs?
Yes.
What'd you score?
1400
1,400? Out of what?
out of 1600.
Out of 1,600? Oh. All right. All right. Yeah, I don't know if that's smart either. What'd you score?
I got like a 1900,
1,900 out of
2400.
1,900 out of 2,400.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what else? Don't mind them.
What?
Don't mind them. They're just being rowdy. What? So tell me about like your friends. Do you have a lot of friends? I'll come back to you in a second.
Not really.
Yeah?
Like, I have some close friends.
You have some close friends?
Yeah.
Who are you in your friend network? Like, who are you? Like, what kind of person are you?
I don't know, the fun one.
The fun one?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
I don't know, because they laugh a lot when I'm with them.
Yeah.
And they always need me when they go to parties and stuff.
So you guys are, the two of you are similar in that way, yeah?
Yeah, I like to fuck around a lot.
Yeah? Wait, no, you don't mean, you mean figuratively.
Yeah, figuratively,
All right.
Don't worry.
All right. Okay. Just, dude, did I not have to ask that? All right. That's not creepy. All right. So you like to play around?
Yeah, last year when I was a freshman, I used to like camp out at Finley Commons a lot.
Yeah? So listen, what are you going to do with the accounting? Like, what do you see yourself doing?
Well, actually, the reason why I'm doing accounting is because I want to travel. So like, you can have like jobs through that.
Yeah, lots of different jobs.
Yeah.
Wait, so tell me about your accounting skills, though. Again, like, how good do you think you're going to be as an accountant?
I think I'll be a good accountant. Like, what do you mean by that, though?
I mean, do you think, are you going to be like really skilled and I mean, yeah, well, how good of an accountant are you going to be?
I think I'll be a good one. I mean, I feel like I'm on the right path to become a successful person in like corporate America,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. I mean, I help my friends with accounting 211 because I took it last semester.
Uh-huh.
So by like the looks of that, if it keeps going up, then
Mm-hmm.
I'll be going up with it.
Yeah. And how about you? What do you study biology? What do you want to do?
Genetics research.
Yeah? Do you
Yeah.
think you'll be good at it?
I don't know yet.
Come on, man. All right. I don't know yet. Okay, wait, hang on. You have 1,400 on the. Are you good at math?
Am I good at math?
Yeah.
I don't take math now.
Oh, because you tested out of all the math? Do you still take math?
Nope.
Hey, did you test out also?
Yeah.
All right. So, no, don't look at that. So what do you need to work on?
I need to be more serious, I feel like, sometimes. I need to have better study habits. Like, you mean like as like a student or like as like a person?
Yeah, just as a person.
I don't know, you mean like what I need to work on as a person?
Yeah, what do you need to work on as a person?
I feel like I need to be more cultured. All my friends are like the same. So that's why
There you are. You got another
I
partner
know.
in humor.
we're going to be friends.
What do you need to work on?
I guess open up more to American people.
Yeah. Dude, see?
I know.
There it is. So she's a jokester, you're a jokester. You can like share humor back and forth. All right. So listen, I thought you would push it more, but you didn't push it more. So let me just show you what we're doing here, right? So in Western, you can look at this now. In Western cultures, Westerners, folks like us, we tend to overestimate our abilities. Focus on what we do really well. We're more talented. We see ourselves as.
So you're saying I'm cocky?
Yeah, but you're not, though. You're actually, you were, I mean, just not really. Not as much as you could have been. Not as much as many other people have been in the past when I bring them up here. But it's sort of a little bit, but not really. And that's not cocky, though. It's just, you're average for probably a Westerner. But whereas underestimating abilities, right? So we're asking her, like, are you smart? I don't know. Like 1,400 out of 1,600, that's pretty smart, right? Focus on tasks that we don't do well. Being self-critical, so that's like enhancing reputations. Because in East Asian cultures, it's like, look, Jill and I know that the way we enhance our reputations, the way I enhance my reputation is to come in here and say, hey, so I was at a conference last week and I was talking to I got invited to a conference last week and I gave a presentation in front of these military generals, and it was really fascinating. And I start telling you I didn't get invited to a conference last week, but I start telling you the things that I did, and then they see me, and then suddenly it's like, oh, so you enhance your reputation. And so that's how we operate, right? Yeah. Like you're going to say the good things that you do. But Jing, is that all right? Yeah, okay. It has to be, because I just can't go further. The issue with her is if she puts herself out there, right, then that actually diminishes her reputation. Now, if she's been westernized, it's a different thing, but it diminishes it. It's like your parents are going to be like, yeah, so Jill, she's an accounting major, she's at Penn State, she's doing great. What was your GPA last semester?
3.7.
Oh, okay, so she got a 3.7, and she's so smart, and she's amazing. But her parents aren't going to say that. They're not going to go to the local community and their friends and be like, so Jing went to Penn State and she's got a 4.0 in her first semester. They're not going to say that. But your parents would be like all over that.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. And her parents aren't going to be. Because for her parents, that elevates them. And for her parents, it diminishes. So you don't want to be out front. See, can you go back to that photo of the party congress? See right there? You don't want to stand out there. Everybody knows who has the power, but you don't want to stand out. In the US, you want to be whoever that person, you want to find that one important space right there. Do you know who the party leader is? You don't even know who it is. We have no idea. In the U.S., there's going to be a podium there, and that's just going to stand up. And Jill and I, we're going to want to be in that position right there. And we're going to want everybody to see us, and because we're Westerners, and that's how it operates. But here, for you, it's like, nah, man, you want to be one of the crowd. Because your reputation comes from being one of the crowd, not from standing out. Do you want to say anything about that? Any other Chinese students want to say anything about that? You can come up here really. It's easier than me bringing you a mic. Do you have anything to say about that? Yeah? You don't even want to say anything. All right. What would you add to the? Can you go back? Yeah.
That's a wrong number. That's 18.
Oh, it's 18? Oh, all right.
So one of the things that I want to mention that it's not like people, like parents, don't want to showing off their kids. It's like everybody knows that your kids are good, and you won't wait them to ask you like how's your kid, how are they doing, and then you can unintentionally say that, oh, they got a 4.0 last semester. Oh, that's so good. Now it's like nothing. Like
So you don't say. So you never start. You don't lead with that. Your parents are going to lead with that.
Yeah, you don't start it, but you want to say that.
Right. So you want. Everybody wants to say it because you want to. If I'm your parent, I want to feel proud of you, and if I'm your parent, I want to feel proud of you. I'm gonna, but I just wouldn't say that. Yeah. Right. My mother-in-law talks about, who's from New Jersey, by the way, talks about how she talks about her kids so much that when people see her in the grocery stores, they avoid her. It's like, oh my God, just stop. I can't listen to your stories about your stupid kids anymore, right? But you wouldn't have that problem. Okay, not stupid kids, but your silly kids. Anything else? Do you want to add anything else about the overestimating abilities? What's your GPA?
I'm still a freshman, so I don't have one.
How'd you do in the SATs?
I'm like 1410, something like that.
Are you smart?
Kind of. Like, yes.
1410. Dude, you even know what we're doing and you still can't say it.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say that. It's like, you don't say that.
Yeah, you
End
don't
of
say
story.
it. You didn't say that. No, you didn't. And so, but I've brought students down here who had like, I asked them, are you smart? And they're like, yeah. And they have like a 2.3 GPA in sociology. And I'm like, seriously? How'd you do in the SATs? It's like, well, I don't know. I got a 940. I'm like, okay. I had a young woman from China. She had a perfect score 2 semesters ago, a perfect score on the SATs. I said, are you smart? And she's like, no, not really. You see what I mean? This is the thing.
But most of the Chinese student, international student here have 1400 GPA.
Yeah, exactly.
So you
how
don't
they got
say
here.
that. Like, it's not a big deal.
You don't say it. That's right. But if you were American, you would. It's just, no, but this is part of being an American. You would. Are you kidding? If she went to China and someone asked her if she was smart, trust me, she would be like, yeah, of course I'm smart. Yeah. Okay, you might not. All right. Okay, anybody have any questions, by the way? Anybody have any quick questions? I want to ask, bro.
Literally looked right at you.
Nice shorts, by the way, dude.
Thank you. Okay, just a quick question though. I feel like it's
Wait, are you born in the U.S.?
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey.
No, I'm from New Jersey.
So I feel like it's different if you're like an ABC, like an American-born Chinese. Like when people are saying like parents don't brag about their kids, like my parents, like they don't have much to brag about from me. But like their Asian friends, like they brag like all the fucking time. It's like, oh, my son's in Harvard. Oh, my son's at Princeton. Or my daughter's got like an internship at Goldman Sachs. It's like that's always kind of there. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I think it's
hang on, let me just respond to that real fast. Well, one thing that we see that I've noticed and that I really see is that when people come here, there are certain when people migrate, there are certain things that people will grasp onto more quickly than others. Okay, for East Asian people of East Asian culture, this is one of those things they grasp onto. It seems like really fast, where they suddenly they start abandoning some of that and go toward overestimating and bragging and that kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So hang on. So I'm agreeing with you and saying it's one of those things that we see. Yeah, but go ahead.
It's just like it's mostly with like Asians parents with other Asian parents. I feel like when they come here, like they don't really talk about that to like other like American parents, like bragging about how smart their kids are. But like I know like Asian parents, like they love to have like competitions about how like good their kids are and like compare usually like based on GPA or like their college, like I guess their worth of their children. Although I do know that like they definitely, I mean at least according to my parents, like they like demean me all the time. Like they'll like say, oh like you're an idiot, oh like you're a moron, like, and it's just like something like you accept. Like I feel like if you're an Asian kid, like you'll understand that your parents like they'll like want you to do well, but they'll make sure that you know like you're like not as smart as you think you are.
Oh yeah. All right. That's cool. Do your parents do that, Joe? Let you know you're not as smart as you think you are?
Sometimes they do, honestly, yeah. If they do compare to like other kids in my area and what they're doing compared to what I'm doing.
Yeah. Dude, what's your GPA, by the way?
I have a 3.8.
3.0?
8.
3.8?
Yeah.
You just said they don't have much to brag about.
Okay, like in my community, like they were like embarrassed I went to Penn State.
Wait. Hang on. Okay, try it.
Oh, like they're like, oh, like you should have aimed for an Ivy League. My mom is like pressuring me to like try and like transfer to like Cornell or something. She's like, oh, you should like aim higher. Like you're doing really well here, but like it's too easy for you. Like you like push yourself or something. Like I don't know. It's just like it's like a status expectation with colleges.
Yeah. It's really pushing. Yeah. Anybody? Yeah.
So
I would take it. My GPA was 2.9, so I would take a 3.8. Yeah, bro.
yeah,
Wait,
so-
you're Indian, right?
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's interesting to see this because I've got like a bit of both. I'm first generation. My parents were born in India, and so I've got a lot of friends that are also first generation. They all say basically the same thing, that I'm doing well, but it doesn't feel like my parents approve or like they're proud of that. Like they won't go out and be like, hey, my son is doing amazing, in a sense. And so it's interesting seeing the different, the different bullet points for each side.
Yeah, because this really can fit with people in the Indian subcontinent. A lot of this, right? Like where you're gonna underestimate abilities and not really push other people. Yeah, always like strive a little harder. Yeah. It's intense, man. It's really intense. Whereas in the U.S., people get trophies and prizes and awards for just showing up. I don't know what that is. All right, man.
I think it's different between you emphasize liberty or fairness.
Yeah.
Like here, it's more. I'm not saying that it's more liberal, but like it's emphasize different thing.
Yeah.
Here, everybody wants to stand out and to be the one, and over there you want to be one of the crowd. And fairness is more. Community is much more important than individual.
So we talk about the importance of community, but really, in the end, we want to stand out somehow.
It's that you want to be that hero.
The hero,
The
like
hero
the one.
one.
Yeah, got you. And so that's very much a part of it. But really over there, it's like you want to just be part of the crowd.
Yeah, you need to work together, so you don't want other people to feel like jealous or.
Dude, this is why you will take over the world. Seriously. No, you will. This is why they will take over, because you're working together. It's like you watch people who are really, really working together, and they do it. By the way, can one of you teach the class how to say, "Welcome to McDonald's, can I take your order?" For real, yeah. Do you know how to say that?
Yeah, of course.
Go ahead.
欢迎来到。
Wait, listen up. Listen up. Some of you might need this.
欢迎来到麦当劳。欢迎 is welcome。欢迎 yeah 来到 come to。
欢迎
来到
来到
麦当劳。
麦当劳
is McDonald in Chinese。
McDonald. Okay,
Yeah,
McDonald.
麦当劳 yeah.
Yeah.
欢迎来到麦当劳。
And then, can I take your order? How do you say that?
想要点什么？就 it's
Dude.
basically like you don't say can I take your order? It's like what do you want? Like
What do you want?
Yeah.
All right. Dude, thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you. Yo, and thank you. Do you have any jokes you could tell us real fast? Can you be funny, though? Listen, you need to share humor with each other. All right? All right, Mom. Okay, listen, I want to show you a couple things because I think it's utterly fascinating. I want to show you a few videos. First, remember last class that I mentioned how if East Asians were building the East Halls thing, they'd do it in 2 months, and it's going to take us 6 years. So was it you that gave me the video? Just watch this video. This is the Chinese retro in Beijing. It's Beijing, right? Not Shanghai? It's Beijing. Retrofitting a bridge on a major thoroughway in 43 hours. Just watch this. Here, can you just dim the lights just a little? So look they're putting all the pillars in, right? This is the major road here, right? And the road's here. I mean, traffic is unbelievable. 43 hours, y'all, right? Watch this. Look at dump trucks ready to go. Everything's ready. Dude, we could do that. We just don't. And here it's just a matter of course. Dude, 43 hours, man. We're rocking it. That's amazing, right? That's amazing. That's the stuff. These are just human differences that matter. And they awaken me. I find it utterly fascinating. Here, I want to show you a couple more videos, right? So, somebody after class mentioned do you know what K-pop is? Y'all know what K-pop is, right? Okay, so who's putting on the K-pop event? Somebody, Korean student, talked to me after class. Who was that? That was you? So listen, when is that going to be? Oh, wait. When is it? October 29th. We're in the hub. Yeah? Alumni Hall. All right, so listen, watch this video. All right, bro. Check this out. It's the Birth of Cool. And it's really, I think it's pretty mind-blowing. And hang on, but hold on. So the idea here, though, is look at this K-pop part of a plan to challenge U.S. cultural domination. We have the idea, Americans live with this idea that everybody wants to be like Americans, that American music and American culture and American clothing and American styles and everything is all over the world, and it is. And there are other styles that are just as powerful. And so K-pop, for 2 decades, has been like subtly putting into place this global domination of a cultural style. And so that's what this video is. It's like, no, we're just going to take it over. So like the idea, that song didn't just come out of nowhere. That's all part of this process, right? And so, y'all, look, in 20 years, this could be a dominant music genre here in the United States. It easily could be. This isn't far-fetched at all. And so the idea being step outside of ourselves and really look at what's coming and what other places around the world are doing. To me, it's mind-blowing how many conversations I have with people who know nothing about the rest of the world, have never traveled, have never been there to all these different places, and yet can have this sense of this belief that the world in 20 years is going to be a certain way, and they've never been there, they've never seen it, right? It's mind-blowing to me. So here, I have another video I want to show you just about music. Yo, listen, the most dominant language on the web is not English. There are more web users using Mandarin than there are users in English.